Hello, Rough Rider Nation, and welcome to the Rider Report. I'm Brad Clifford. I'm the athletic director here at Yavapai College, and I'm joined today by our head softball coach, Doug Eastman. Doug, welcome to the program. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
Good to be here. We just concluded our 2017 campaign. Needless to say, it was a banner year, outstanding year. We finished with an overall record of 49-7, 44-4 in the conference. We won our fourth ACCAC title. The season ended a little abruptly, but it was a great season nonetheless.
Well, it was. We had some fantastic athletes, and what an honor for me to be able to coach them, Brad. It did end not in a way that I suspected. It was just one of those things where, as a coach, you have to take some of that fault. And we look at the coaching staff. We had 13 days off before we played regionals, and for some reason the team just didn't have the fire to compete and finish the job. So we got to look back on that. And as a coach, I've been coaching a lot of years, but you keep learning. We're just like players, and we'll have to do things a little bit differently if we're fortunate enough to be in that position next year to finish the job. So, but overall, wonderful season, a lot of wins. I think our fans were pleased with what they saw. Well,
very much so, and it is a tough thing having 13 days off before going into playoffs. You really got to be sharp, and the kids probably lost a little sharpness there in 13 days.
Well, Brad, we talked about that, and it is a long time. We have a bye the last weekend, right. And this upcoming season we have the same schedule, so we're going to have to be creative there. But 13 days without playing, you see school's out. Right. You see your friends packing up their stuff from the dorms and going home, and they're talking about their summer and all these kind of things. And to try to keep the athletes engaged is our job, quite frankly. So we're going to do a better job of that. I think we did lose a little bit of that fight, a little bit of that luster of what an honor it is to be in the national tournament. And I'm still not over it. Right. And I'm going to sit here today and tell you that I looked down that lineup and seen all the talent that we had. We should have been one of the representatives at the national tournament. And I think it's a disservice for us not to be there. Because I think other programs figured that we would be there, to give it a shot.
Right. And kudos to Central. They ended up winning the thing and went over and did a decent showing there in the tournament. But like you say, it's coulda, woulda, shoulda, I guess.
Well, I think with Central, I think you looked at a team that still had a lot of fight.
Sure.
And, we always talk about talent on paper. Did we have the most talent on paper? Well, sure we did. Our stats were nationally recognized at the highest value. However, that doesn't always win regional championships. And I think if you look at the Division I tournament with Auburn going out and Alabama and some of these teams that thought they would also get an opportunity fell short. So that's why we love athletics. That's why we hate athletics. It's frustrating at times. Nothing's guaranteed. But I'm eager. I'm eager to start another season.
Well, let's talk about a little bit of the individual play this year. We had J.D. Borsaw, the ACCAC Player of the Year. Wow. Hits .480 on the year with a school record of 32 home runs, which she led the league, not only the league, but the nation. She also had 101 RBIs, which led the league. She was named the first team All-ACCAC, first team NJCAA Region 1 Division 1, named to the first team Offense All-American team by Fast Pitch News, and was yesterday named to the West Region NJCAA Division 1 first team by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association. She had a great year. Andrea Sotelo, she led the team, league, and nation in batting average at .567, broke the record for career home runs with 39, and was named first team All-ACCAC, first team NJCAA All-Region 1 Division 1, first team Offense All-American by Fast Pitch News, etc., etc. Those two really were your offensive mainstays.
Well, those are some exciting accolades right there, and boy, what a pleasure to watch them play. At the third base coaching spot, watching J.D. Evolve as a hitter as a freshman with a kind of power and discipline. Mm-hmm. You don't always find power and discipline. Sometimes, those are hackers. Those are batters up there that are really letting it go. But she was able to lay off bad pitches, make pitchers make mistakes, and boy, the sky's the limit for her. I mean, I've never personally coached anyone that hit 32 home runs in a season. So for her to be a freshman and to come back, boy, we can't wait.
She might break the all-time record. home run record.
Well, yeah, I think that's going to happen unless we get the thunderstorms every day and the season's canceled. But yeah, she's one that can very well hit 30 plus again. Right. The problem is your second year they know about you. You're no secret. They'll pitch to you differently. Sometimes they won't pitch to you at all. Right. But JD, she's learning to be a better catcher, a receiver. She didn't get a lot of catching experience before she came to Yavapai. I saw a great improvement with her behind the dish in her framing abilities, and so great things for JD and for her to do those things as a freshman, and for us to be able to come back and watch her do those things again, fantastic. And then you look at Andrea Sotelo, probably the best overall athlete that we had. Sure. And we talked so much about her hitting and her power and how many doubles that she hit and RBIs and all those kind of things. She is a slick fielding first baseman, and to get one error in 300 and something chances is almost unheard of. Yeah. And make no mistake, first base is not an easy position to play. So those two young ladies, and there's more, but those two young ladies were just terrific.
Well, there is more. Let's talk about Raylin Rios. She had a banner year as well, hitting .485. And you talk about JD and you talk about Raylin, and you say free swingers, they hit a lot of home runs, but they each hit .480 and above, so that's pretty decent. She hit 21 home runs. She had 80 RBIs. She earned all ACC honors, region honors, national honors. I mean, she had a great year as well.
Well, Raylin Rios, I mean, what can you say about her? But again, here's a young lady that if she ever does understand the strike zone, she hit .480 and she's a free swinger. Right. I don't know how many pitches this year. She swung at first pitch changeups and didn't fare too well. And when she figures out the dynamic of how to be a good hitter and to put pitchers in situations where it's 3-1 and 2-1 and 2-0 counts, she could be right there with J.D. Bursaw, right. What she can do. So, again, another freshman coming back with a whole bunch of punch that, we'll be looking forward to seeing them in the middle of the lineup.
Well, from the circle, you had Kiana Spencer, who was a horse, winning 19 games. She struck out 85. Amy, of course, had a great year as well. She led the team with 24 wins and 111 strikeouts, and her 2 years were just above anybody else that we've almost had here. She had a great 2 years. And then you talk about the other kids that that don't get the accolades. Like Carissa, they're at third base. Shayna at shortstop. Mahina. There's just some kids that did some things. Savannah doing a great job behind the plate. You had a great season by a lot of these kids.
Well, everybody always looks at offensive numbers and thinks that really is what makes a player. But you just mentioned some young ladies, Carissa Pena and Shayna and Mahina and Savannah, how she controls our pitching staff and the way she frames back there. But defense is a huge part of this game, and I'm always frustrated at conference meetings when we don't really get into how good a player is defensively. Right. It's always offensively, but left side of the infield with Carissa and Shayna, I don't think there was anybody better. I mean, they got the job done in a big way, and then Mahina was all over the place. Right. I mean, she was a fantastic left fielder, center fielder, second baseman, and they were scrappy. These are hitters that hit close to 400 in our lineup. Didn't have the power statistics, but you got to have people that set the table. They knew their role, and they did a great job, so we'll miss them all. Absolutely.
And you look at, somebody mentioned this earlier in the season, who was the comeback player of the year. I think Shayna Ige, I'd have to give my vote to Shayna. She had an outstanding offensive year and defensive year, especially with her struggles from the first year offensively from the dish.
Well, I would agree, and that, that comes with confidence. Mm-hmm. And she knew she was slated as that shortstop that was going to play every day. She worked hard in the batting cages with her swing. And going forward, she's going to be someone that's, coach is going to be happy to get. She's a good one, Brad.
She's going to be a steal for sure.
Yeah.
All right, the gals are headed into their summer assignments. What do you have your freshmen doing this summer?
Well, we just talked about it. We have them on a GroupMe app, and we just spoke of the fact how important it is to come in shape. And everybody's different. I think with pitchers, you're looking at, work on endurance. Do a lot more, not necessarily heavy weights, but repetitious weights, get your running in. Make sure that you're that pitcher that can pitch both games in a doubleheader if we need you to. And, Brad, you've watched the D1 regionals and super regionals. They have pitchers that throw 300-400 pitches in a couple of games, and you got to be prepared to do that. I'm not saying that's always the way we're going to do it, but you got to prepare yourself to be that horse if we need you. So pitchers in that way, position players I think can get in the weight room a little heavier. Come in with some strength, come in with some something for us to work with, because when you get here, we're going to get after it.
Right.
And the fall for us is a time for us to get strong and confident and work on the little things, mechanics and first and third plays, and learn the game. That's when we learn it, is in the fall. And hopefully when we get to the spring, we refine your skills. We work on things periodically to keep you intact, but lifting weights and working all the big skill stuff's going to happen in the fall.
Yeah, I know when I coached, the summers were huge for us. Off season, you make the player. You don't have the time during the season to create the player.
Yes.
All right, we're losing quite a nucleus of players. Where are they headed? We talked about them a little bit, but let's kind of name them off as we go.
Yeah, well, let's start out with Shayna Ige. She's going to go to Oregon Tech, and I have a great relationship with that program and that coach, and he does a great job there. They won a national championship 3 years ago, and Shayna's going to be really good for him at the shortstop position. Amy Robinson's going to go with her, and I think a lot of times when players enjoy playing with each other. And when they leave Yavapai College, they always tell me, I wish it was a 4-year institution. I really wanted to stay. I want to play 2 more years. This is an opportunity for those two to play some more ball together for the next 2 years. So Amy's going to be fantastic for them. Amy lives close by. She's going back to home. She gets to have her family watch her play on a daily basis. So I think she's really excited about that. Andrea Sotelo, we're going to see where she goes. She had a visit to UC Riverside.
Division I program.
Division I program. Then she went to University of Nebraska, Omaha, and they offered her a full scholarship there. And I think she's leaning that direction.
Sure.
I'm gonna talk to her at the end of the day today to see what she's thinking. But what a great player she's going to be. Boy, what a catch there. Savannah Ramirez, we talked about her great catching skills, going to go to Benedictine. So she'll be down in Phoenix. I'll be able to see her some more, which is really nice. And hopefully we'll get a chance to maybe play him in the fall, which would be really fun. And then Mahina Chong, Corbin University in Oregon.
In Oregon, right.
And she's excited about that. They got a great program. They were definitely in the national championships this year. So she's also going to a winning program. And when we talk about those things, and when players say, where should I go, coach? It's not so much D1, D2, NAIA for me. Number one, make sure it's a good academic fit. And then number two, make sure they win.
Right.
Make sure that they do the things that it takes for you to be successful. Because coming from a program that we have, and 49-7, you don't want to go to a program that doesn't share that same energy that we do here at Yavapai College. So we talk about those things, and we make sure that's the case. Who did we miss? Did we miss anybody else?
Carissa's still making a decision.
Carissa's making, boy, I hope she finds a home, because she's just a fantastic player.
She's a steal, whoever gets her.
She is a gamer. She was our team captain. She is the difference between a team being great or good. Right. She's the difference maker with her mindset, the ways that she plans to play on a daily basis. She's always ready. Great academic young lady. Left with her associate's degree, and so I'm still working on Carissa. She's a homebody. She's had offer after offer, but she wants to stay close to home. I can appreciate that. Sure. Very close-knit family, and she wants to stay there. So we're still working with Carissa to get her a spot. But she's a steal, boy. I'd take 9 of them.
Oh, absolutely. Recruiting. I mean, we're obviously in the midst of it. We're not done with it by any means. How's that going for us?
I'm very excited, Brad. I think recruiting's gone quite well. And when you look at the dynamic of our team, you're looking at we're going to have a whole new infield.
Right.
And our fans are going to have to get to know some new people. But you're used to seeing Shorty and Shayna and Mahina and Dre, and the whole infield will be different. There'll be freshmen in every position. Plus, not to mention, there'll be a freshman at the rubber. There'll be a couple of freshmen maybe in the outfield. It's going to be a young team.
It is.
So it's very important that we have Raylan Rios and J.D. Bursaw, Mariah Calamaris, and Kaylee Mabry, and Kiana Spencer and Santana Parra.
Right.
We do have some very, very outstanding freshmen coming back, but the freshmen are going to have to make a mark,
right.
and they're going to have to come in ready to play and not be afraid of the challenge. But so excited, this. It starts with pitching,
right.
And we know Kiana Spencer what she can do. She's got a personal trainer right now, and I told her I think that's the only dynamic that she's missing is a little strength.
Right.
So she's taking it seriously. She does have a trainer. Santana Parra is working very hard right now in the off season because she would like to get more opportunities,
sure.
And that's fantastic. And then we have a pitcher coming in from Washington, and Jaya Allen. She struck 21 batters out this year in one game that she played,
wow.
and that's
wow.
That's saying something. So she is a strong young lady from Shadle Park High School out of Washington. 5'10", 5'11", just a strong athlete, a very nice presence out there, and she'll be coming in throwing in the mid-60s, so she's a real hard thrower
Fantastic.
for us. So I think with those three pitchers, the talent that we have coming in, we should be in good shape again, Brad.
Great. It's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. All right, just let's finish it up. Just for the record, Cavaliers or Warriors?
Oh, come on. You know me better than that. I'm a big Warriors fan and very disappointed last year again. Us coaches don't get over things very fast. And I watched that 3-1 lead shrink and they lost it in 7. The addition of Kevin Durant and the way they're playing right now, I take Warriors in 6.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to hold you to that. We'll next time out, we'll see how that went.
If not, you'll see tears. I don't think I can take it 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
Right.
Well, this concludes our edition of this Rider Report. We want to remind you to follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Follow us on www.goroughriders.com. And as always, go Rough Riders.